Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's finance meeting. So, I hope everyone is doing well. So, the purpose of today's meeting is to evaluate the financial feasibility of launching our new product, which is the eco friendly water bottle. So, during this meeting, each department will present their financial analysis before we decide whether this project should proceed. So, let's begin. Okay, but before we begin, let me briefly explain today's objective. Our first objective is to evaluate the project operating cash flow. Um, we will discuss three cash flow approach, which is first is top down approach, which focus on estimating revenue. The second is the bottom up approach, which focus on estimating project cost. Lastly, we will discuss the tax shield approach to understand how depreciation affect cash flow. After all the presentation, we will determine whether this product launch is financially beneficial for our company or not. Next, before we discuss the financial analysis, let me introduce our proposed product. Actually, our company plan to launch the eco-friendly water bottle. So, this product is reusable, environmentally friendly, and designed to reduce the use of single-use plastic bottle. Next, it is also a lightweight, portable, and suitable for daily use. It is also suitable for student and working adult who need a practical and sustainable water bottle. So, actually, we believe the product match the growing demand for eco-friendly product and promotes a healthier lifestyle. Next, let's look at our target market. So, our primary customer are office worker and gym user. Office worker need a convenient water bottle to stay hydrated during working hours. Meanwhile, the gym user require a durable and reusable bottle for exercise and outdoor activities. Actually, this customer group are becoming more health conscious and environmentally aware. So, therefore, we believe they represent a strong market for our new product. Next, now that everyone understand our product and target market, let's move on to the financial analysis. So I would like to invite our revenue analysis to present the top-down approach.
All right, thank you to our finance manager. First thing first, I will explain the top-down approach, which is a problem-solving and planning method that starts with a big picture view and breaks it down into smaller, specific components. So basically, the top-down approach begins by analyzing the overall market before estimating the project revenue. Instead of focusing on cost first, this approach starts from the market demand and gradually estimates sales and cash flow. So I will show you the process. As we can see here, our process begins with the market demand analysis. After we understanding the customer demand, we have to prepare a sell forecast. And then next, we will estimate the expected revenue. And then after that, operating costs are estimated before calculating the project's expected profit and the profit operating cash flow. So this systematic process will help us determine whether the project is financially feasible. So next slide. So based on our market research, the revenue forecast that expected sales volume is 10,000 units, while the selling price is 50 ringgit per unit. Therefore, the revenue equals to sales volume multiplied with the selling price, which is the 10,000 units multiplied with the 50 ringgit. We can get the 500,000 for the revenue. So this indicates strong sales potential if market demands meets our expectations. And then next is the cost estimation. So as we can see here, we have the material cost, labor cost, overhead cost, and the total cost. So after estimating the revenue, we can compare it with total operating cost. Revenue is 500,000. So the total operating costs are 220,000. Therefore, The EBIT, earning before interest and tax, is 280,000. So the positive earning before interest and tax shows that the project is expected to generate operating profit before tax. And then next, which is the operating cash flow. We can see the item and the amount here. We calculate the operating cash flow. The earning before interest and tax is 280,000 ringgit Malaysia. So after deducting tax and adding back the depreciation, the operating cash flow is 216,000. So this positive cash flows suggest that the project has the potential to generate healthy returns for the company. I think that's all from me. That's my presentation. So thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. The projected revenue look promising. However, the revenue alone is not enough. So we also need to understand the detailed cost involved. So I would now like to invite our cost analysis.
Okay, thank you to finance manager and thank you to financial cost. Sorry, financial analyst. Okay, thank you for the explanation on the top-down approach. Now, I will continue by presenting the bottom-up approach, which focus on analyzing the project before determining its operating cash flow. Okay, the bottom-up approach is commonly used because it provides a detailed and accurate cost estimate, calculate each component such as material, labor, and overhead, help create a realistic budget and improve financial planning. So for this project, our estimate annual FAC cost as below is raw material around 100,000, direct labor 50,000, and manufacturing overhead 17,000. So total up aligned with our fixed and variable cost 2,000, 200 to 20,000. So using this estimate, we will calculate operating cash flow by using the following formula. OCF equals earning before interest tax multiplied by 1 minus tax and plus depreciation. Okay, so so now let's go the calculation step by step. First, we determine the earning before interest and tax by using the formula sales minus operating cost. Okay, while sales revenue is 500,000, total operating cost is 220,000, and depreciation is 2,000, 20,000. Final total will give us 260,000. Next, we calculate, now let's analyze this result. Okay, the project generates operating cash flow of 260,000, which indicates that the new product is expected to generate positive cash from its normal business operation. Okay, looking at the cost structure, raw material represent 45% of total operating costs, making them the largest cost component. This, this means that even a small reduction in material cost to supplier negotiation or reducing production waste could significantly improve the project cash flow. The second largest cost is manufacturing overhead at 32%. This includes expenses such as utility, equipment maintenance, and factory operation. Managing these overhead costs efficiently can further improve profitability. For labor costs, we can improve employee productivity, providing better training or optimizing production schedule could help reduce labor costs without ascertain product quality. So based on this analysis, I recommend using the bottom-up approach for evaluating this project. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. So now we understand the cost structure of this product. Beside revenue and cost, tax also influence cash flow. So I would now like to invite our tax advisor.
Okay, thank you to our finance manager. So next, I will continue to represent the tax sheet approach. Okay, what is tax sheet approach? Tax sheet approach use the revenue from the top-down approach and the cost information from the bottom-up approach. This approach focuses on the tax saving created by the depreciation because depreciation reduces taxable income even though it is a non-cash expenses. Okay, so next I will continue to the component use. The first item is the quantity. The quantity is a 10,000 units. Next is the selling price. For the selling price is 50 ringgit per unit. Next, a variable cost. For the variable cost is cost 15 ringgit per unit. For the fixed cost is a 15,000 ringgit and the depreciation is 20,000 ringgit. And the last is the tax rate given 30%. So manufacturing overhead is RM 10 70,000 including 20,000 depreciation. Therefore, cash feed cost is RM 15,000 ringgit. So next, I will continue to the formula. Okay, the formula for tax sheet approach is OCF equal to quantity times P minus VC minus FC. And then 1 minus tax plus depreciation times tax. This formula show the operating cash flow after considering both operating profit and the tax sheet from depreciation. Okay, next is the calculation. As you can see here, the calculation for OCF for tax sheet approach, 10,000 ringgit, 10,000 unit times 15 minus 15 minus 15,000, 1 minus 0.30 plus 20,000 times 0.30. The answer for the OCF is a 216,000 ringgit. Next, I will continue to the tax sheet explanation. Okay, the tax sheet explanation equal to depreciation time tax rate. The depreciation cost is RM 20,000 ringgit times 30% for the tax given, and the answer will be 6,000 ringgit. The tax shield is created from the depreciation and interest expenses. Since no interest expense is provided, the tax shield is calculated using the depreciation only. The company saves 6,000 ringgit in tax, which increased the operating cash flow to 216,000 ringgit. Okay, the last is the conclusion of the tax sheet. The tax sheet approach support the result from the top-down and bottom-up approaches. Based on the top-down approach, the project generates revenue of 500,000 ringgit. Based on the bottom-up approach, the project includes manufacturing overhead of RM 17,000 ringgit, which include depreciation of 20,000 ringgit. After separating depreciation, the cash feed cost is RM 15,000 ringgit. So that the depreciation create a tax sheet of 6,000 ringgit. After including the tax shield, the operating cash flow is 216,000 ringgit. Therefore, the project is financially positive and suitable to continue. Thank you from my side.
Thank you to everyone for your valuable presentation. So, based on today's discussion, each approach have provide useful financial insight. So, the top-down approach help us estimate market demand and revenue. The bottom-up approach provide a detailed analysis of project cost and budgeting. So finally, the tax shield approach demonstrates how depreciation can reduce tax expenses and improve operating cash flow. So overall, the eco-friendly water bottle has strong market potential. So the project cash flow is positive, indicating that the project is financially feasible. Therefore, I recommend that Nova Global Corporation proceed with this product launch. So does everyone agree with this recommendation?
Yes, I agree. The tax saving from depreciation strengthen the project operating cash flow.
Thank you,
Yes,
Uh,
Finance.
I also agree. So based on the revenue forecast, the project has a good market potential.
Sorry, cost analyst?
okay, sorry. Okay, I also agree. The estimate cost, the management, and support long-term profitability.
So, alright, everyone, thank you for your presentation. But before we conclude today's meeting, I would like to hear everyone's final opinion. So, based on your analysis, revenue, do you think this project is financially feasible for Nova Global Corporation?
Yes, I do. Based on our calculations, the production and operating costs are reasonable and within an acceptable budget for this project. So our cost estimates cover the essential expenses required to produce and deliver the eco-friendly water bottle. However, we should continue monitoring raw material prices as fluctuation in supply costs or market conditions may increase our production expenses in the future. By managing our costs efficiently and maintaining good relationship with suppliers. So I believe we can keep the project profitability and financially sustainable.
Wow, thank you. So, for cost analysis, do you think our estimate costs are reasonable for this project?
Yes, based on our calculation, the production and operating cost management. However, we should continue monitoring raw material prices because they may increase in the future. Thank you.
Wow, that's actually a good point. So, cost control will definitely be important in this product. So, for your tax advisor side, from your perspective, how significant is the tax shield benefit?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Finance Manager. Okay, for me, although the tax saving is not the largest contributor to our cash flow, but it still improves our overall financial position by reducing the company tax burden. That's all for me. Thank
Uh,
you.
Thank you. Thank you, revenue analysis. So I appreciate everyone's the opinion. So after listening to all the analysts, I believe actually the button up approach is the more suitable approach because it gives management a clearer understanding of the actual project cost and help us prepare a more realistic budget. At the same time, we should also consider the top-down approach to evaluate market potential and the tax shield approach to maximize their tax savings. Therefore, for my our recommendation is to combine all these three approach while using the bottom-up approach as their primary method for evaluating this project. So, does anyone have any final comments before we end the today's meeting?
I don't have any. Thank you.
I also don't have. Thank you.
Also, me, I don't have anything. Thank you.
So great. Thank you everyone for your valuable contribution and excellent teamwork today. So I believe